doing is I'll be racing across the world in this Scania. So I will be going from Aberdeen to Istanbul, but today I'm only doing one leg of that journey, and that is going to be from from Aberdeen to Brest in France. As you will see, I will be zigzagging right across. So I will be starting Aberdeen here, I'll be zigzagging there, end up over here at some point, might even end up in Italy before I go up there. I'll be zigzagging across, coming back down until I end up in Istanbul. So, there will be some rules in place though. So the rules are as follows. I cannot take any perk points in long distance. So this has to stay clear. I can do everything else but this. Any fines I get will be deducted in terms of time. I've got to make each checkpoint within, I'm going to say 1 in-game day, but I will judge that at the end of today. And there's also some other rules in place for me, which we will cover as we get there, because it's going to be boring if I do that all now. So let's hit drive. At the moment we are in free drive in my garage here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start this up, spin it round, and I'm going to say that when we get to 8:55 on this Wednesday, I can go. And that's, there we go, 8:55, we are now in play. So, quickly, job market, I must take freight wherever I go from. So, from Aberdeen, I must take freight. They look like they're all going to be Glasgow. Which one? That's Glasgow, that's Edinburgh. Aberdeen to Aberdeen, that's not going to be any good. Let's go. Yeah, I reckon go to Glasgow. Let's find one. This one's only 4 ton, so that'll be allow me to go a little bit quicker. Right, off we go. So I've got to abide by all of the road laws while I do this, just to make it interesting. When I get to a destination, I also will have to actually park the cargo up myself. I'm not going to be able to cheat and use the mechanic that allows you just to skip that part of your journey. There you go. I'm speeding at the moment, but I'm okay because I've not got any fines. So every €100 is going to equal a fine. So 8:55, we need to get there fine free by 8:55 on the Thursday. So there's my cargo. Let's whiz over. Back onto that. There we go. Right, let's go. You'll have to excuse my voice today. I've got a little bit of a cold. It's not COVID, can rest assured of that. But it does mean I'm a little bit snuffly. You're going to stop there, aren't you? Yeah, you are just going to stop there and make it flaming awful for me to go anywhere. There we go. You're going that way, are you? Right, good. Now, the thing that I think I'm going to get caught out on is the AI traffic. The AI traffic is awful at driving. Don't change, don't change, don't change. Oh, I don't know if I've done that or not. It hasn't given me a fine, so I must have been okay on that one. Speed cameras. Always speed cameras. See, I can break the law, providing I don't get caught. That's how it works in real life, right? In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my headlights on now, because otherwise what will happen is I will get to it later on, when it starts to get dark, and I will completely forget my headlights, and it will give me a bit of a penalty for it. So obviously along the way I'm going to have to buy fuel, pay for ferries. So when I do that, that's not going to affect how long it takes me at all. It's only a race against time, it's not a race against money. So I'm not worried about that at all. The issue will be though is with the ferries. If say I have a 2-day ferry trip, that's 2 days off my time, and the idea is, although I'm saying it's a 1 day per leg, I'm hoping that might be less than that on some occasions. I need to be able to get from Aberdeen to Istanbul in around about 6 days. What I might say is 7. But my hope is it'll be over. So yeah, I think it'll be that I've got to do the whole trip in 7 days, but I'll allow myself about a day for each. So if I'm a little bit late, it doesn't matter. I'm hoping to do this over 6 episodes. So I'm not making this up as I go along at all. I have some clear rules in my head though for the majority of this. So this lorry is going to be the one that takes me the whole journey. So if it breaks down, I've got to repair it, and repair funds will likely come out of my time. Basically, I'm going to say if I have to repair, then that's a day out of my journey. See, I feel like This leg is going to be slow because we've not yet reached a motorway. Once we get onto a motorway, we should be easy sailing for pretty much the whole thing. But no motorway here. So this isn't a particularly good lorry. I think it's like the second cheapest Scania. It's got the smallest engine you can get on a Scania in this game. So an in-game day can be anything from it really depends. There is a way of working it out, but it depends where you actually are within the game. So some places, I think in the UK it's every 15 in-game minutes translates to about a minute in real life, I believe, if I remember correctly. But in other areas, so I think it's the times sort of slowed down within cities, for example, and it speeds back up on motorways, and so it's not. There's no particular way of working it out. I think the game developers tried to balance it a little bit, knowing that you'd be going slower within the cities, within city limits. They wanted to make sure that the day lasted a bit longer whilst you were trundling around the city. Also supposedly would make the cities feel a bit bigger, but I don't really feel like the cities are modelled all that well at all on here. Nice seeing the stream, by the way. Yes, it's heavily compressed. For example, if you were to go between Southampton and Dover, that journey will take you roughly 5-10 minutes, real world time. And the only real landmark that you would see on the way is the Channel Tunnel, and you've got the Southwick Tunnel modelled on there as well. But other than that, there's no. Obviously, in reality, there's a few different towns and things you come across, but we don't get any of that on here. I'm playing unmodded here, but if you were to download pro mods, that actually adds a heck of a lot more map into the game, including Ireland, and I think Wales is better modelled, and I think they've even gone down into Spain already before the upcoming expansion pack. And then there's an add-on to that as well, to take in Russia. This is one long road. I do like the way that you have police stop vehicles on this game at the side of the road. It just adds to the immersion a little bit, which is quite nice. Anything that adds to immersion is always good in my book. Yes, I've not picked the most speedy vehicle in the world. There are faster trucks in this, but this makes more sense for me, I think, to do a... I feel like if I were to pick out one of the better ones in the game, it would just feel a bit like cheating. I'm not even able to reach the 60-mile-an-hour limit here. Nice few roadworks to trundle through now. Now, I've not really paid too much attention, but I do wonder whether this frequently gets updated, because these roadworks were on here last time I played this in exactly the same place. So I wonder if they know there's roadworks here, so in the last update they put them in. Be interesting to find out. But at the moment, the UK is full of roadworks like these, where they're just upgrading every motorway to what they call a smart motorway. So I'm playing now with automatic gearbox. Obviously the game allows for it even allows for an H shift, which I'm not sure how that would work with keyboard. I don't have a steering wheel that will allow me to add in like a gear stick. But if I could add in a gear stick, that would probably be the way I'd drive these. But yeah, I think I don't really like to go for a sequential gearbox. I just really hate doing that. Hence why I play automatic. Right, so we're almost at our first drop. Good. About halfway to needing a rest, which is not so good. But hopefully that means we can still do another delivery. How far I can get from Glasgow, I have no idea. I have a feeling I won't actually get this done within the 7-day limit that I've set myself, but regardless, I will see. I'll see what record I can set if I don't make it. Keep meaning to download the multiplayer mod and give that a shot. Although I think it takes all the traffic out of the game when you do that. So it's just you and a bunch of other people driving their lorries. So now that I'm inside the city limits... Oh, hello. You can tell that the clock's going that little bit slower. Here I am. So I'm always going to go for the hardest one. And I've got to try and park it in there. Now is there a bit of room for me to... Now I reckon with a bit of wheel scrub I can probably spin it around. Probably the hardest bit of the game is actually trying to reverse these things up when either you foul up or you're trying to park. Go that way. I only need the trailer inside the box. I can be crooked as I like in the cab. There you go. One down. Let's go for Eco Drive or save a bit of money on fuel later on. So now we can go from Glasgow. Oh, that's not good. I can either go back to Aberdeen or back to Aberdeen. I don't want to go back to Aberdeen. Okay. Well, let's come out of that. How long do I have till Brest? Let's have a look. 7 hours to the next rest stop.